Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sammy and welcome to my channel, and today we have Ori and the Will of the Wisp review. As you can see, I've just recently finished the game. It took me about 22 hours. I played it on normal. I know some people finished it in 8 hours, 10 hours, some even made a speed run in 20 minutes. And I don't know how the fuck that's even possible, but I'm not even curious, as the full game, however long it took me, was well worth it, and it's an amazing experience, an amazing game. So let's get into it. Oh man, the music is amazing. So after I played this one, I played last night the first one, Ori and the Blind Forest, so I can get a sense of the full story. And the story in this one comes basically full circle. I'm not gonna spoil too much about it. If you guys want to play it, I'm just gonna let you guys find out. But trust me, the story is amazing, and it'll come for full circle. It's basically the circle of life, with the beginning, the end, and the beginning again. Is just an amazing experience. This is the second game, of course, in its series. The first one came out in 2015, Ori and the Blind Forest. This came out in 2020. For those watching this in the future, maybe. It's definitely has some issues, has some problems with the game itself, has some bugs, has some sound issues. But overall, it's a good improvement over the first one. It's definitely kept the thing that made it great and added some new elements to it. In this game, although I got the sense that they wanted to focus more on combat, because in the previous game you didn't have any boss fights, right? You used to fight monsters and stuff, but there weren't any boss fights. In this game you have like 3 or 4 boss fights, and a lot of chasing and escaping from monsters and stuff like that. And you can tell they really made an emphasis, because also you get to have a spirit sword or a spirit hammer and other types of weapons that you previously didn't have, and you get to have a lot of ranged weapons, of course, to help you along. And they really made a massive upgrade and really wanted you to feel like combat is a priority here. And it's not a bad thing, the combat is pretty great, but it definitely requires a more hands-on approach for it. But getting back to it, the game is a technical masterpiece. It's a design masterpiece. The music, the the graphics, the details are just fantastic, and it's well worth the experience. The map is also a lot huge, a lot bigger than the first one. It's take into consideration that an area, a zone from an area, can take you about 5 to 10 minutes to complete if you want to explore properly. And also with platforming and stuff like that, and you have to get through some of the challenges, it's gonna take you a while to complete. So each area can last you at least an hour to get through it properly and explore every nook and cranny. Just look at the map. It's just huge, man. It's just spectacular. And also, because it's a lot bigger, you know, in the previous game you had these spirit wells, right? They were only there for saving your game and replenishing your energy and life. But now in this game you can actually warp to them. So you have fast travel, finally, making life that much easier. So let's go ahead and warp to this, show you guys some more color. But yeah, definitely the story's come full circle. The game is focused on combat, but it still kept that its significant presence that made the first game great. Just look at this color, the detail, the graphics, the music. It's just amazing, and only this should be enough for you guys to actually want to play the game. But I'm telling you, this game is hard, man. I mean, this game is super challenging. There have been a lot of situations where I would do a certain zone or a certain boss fight or a certain escape from a boss. It would take me about 20 to 30 tries before I actually figured out how to do it properly and do it. It's just super hard. Not to mention the platforming. I mean, at first it's pretty easy, but once you get to the more difficult areas, like when you get to here, to get to the Wisp, man, this area is off the charts. You can see this. It's super hard. It's super complicated. It gets progressively harder. The platforming gets progressively harder with each new segment. But it's well worth it. I mean, when you complete that segment, you feel like a Superman or something. It's really rewarding. The experience is really rewarding. Also, what's new in this game is different other characters that you can interact with. And they gave you side quests to do. As you can see, there are a bunch of different characters flying around the map, and almost all of them have a side quest for you to do. And those side quests are worth doing because they reward you with Spirit Light. Spirit Light that you can use to trade for weapons or upgrades. Yeah. Also, you can use Spirit Light for... So in the previous game you had abilities. Right now you have shards, and you start the game with only 4 slots. And in those 4 slots you can equip these shards. These shards help you be better. It's basically an RPG version where you upgrade your character. You have shards that make you retaliate damage, make you stick to walls. Previously, this was a skill you had to earn from a skill tree. Now it's a shard that you have to find in the environment. Of course, you can buy some shards and improve them, but most of them you get to find in the environment. You also have shards to deflect, shards for more life, shards to pull orbs towards Ori and stuff like that. Triple jump, and you also need Spirit Light to upgrade some passive stuff. Like you can, one quick tip before you get to Luma pools, for example, which is about the third or fourth part of the quest you get to do when you start the game. There will be a lot of underwater segments, so what you can do is buy the ability to breathe underwater. That also costs you some shards, but it's definitely worth it because shards are plenty. Spirit Light. So you don't need Spirit Light anymore to gather it to upgrade your skills. You just use it to buy skills or upgrade your bot shards. Full of Mokis around. See? He asked for some strings. Now, if you have string or a net, you can give it to him, and he'll gives you some Spirit Light. So, of course, being a combat-oriented game, you have a lot of weapons to use. Luckily, this time around, you can swap between weapons because you have 3 buttons and you can assist which 3 weapons use what. Which 3 buttons use what weapon. So it makes it a lot easier to swap around, and it just takes like a couple of buttons. And one of the skills is regenerate life. You can use energy to heal yourself. which makes trekking through the areas a lot easier. So what else to talk about? Cover the story, cover the game. That's pretty much it. So all in all, basically, if you like the first game, or even if you didn't play the first game, right? But if you like a fantasy game, if you like an RPG element to upgrade your character, if you like cool music, if you like excellent graphics, if you like a challenge, if you like puzzles, there's plenty of puzzles, then this is definitely the game for you. Like, they've added so many different things to find and collect and explore and search for, all side quests, all different area. So many things to do. The map is so big and backtracking is so satisfying. It's just a lot better than the previous game, and it's definitely worth picking up. And for only $30, which I saw it cost on Steam, it's definitely worth picking up. So Ori and the Will of the Wisp is a great game. I'm definitely excited and pumped that I managed to play it. I was so happy last night playing the first one because I didn't play the first one before, and it's just an amazing game and an amazing experience. Also, some of the skills from the first game, one thing to notice is that, of course, some of the skills from the first game were given to you, like this self jump, for example. You had to channel it. You had to channel it and then jump. Now, once you get the skill, you can jump anywhere you want with the press of a button. You don't have to use two buttons to use it. It makes traversing a whole lot easier. You get dash now from the start of the game. Previously you had to earn it, and from a hidden area nonetheless. You didn't have dash. You could complete the game without having dash. You can do that, but right now here is kind of mandatory. Also saving. You had, in the previous game, you had to in order to save the game, you either had to find a shrine, not a shrine, a spirit well, or consume energy in order to save your game. Now here, saving is done automatically. It gives you autosaves. Like, if you enter a new area, it's gonna autosave for you. Of course, if you die, you're still gonna have a bit of backtracking to do back to the point where you died, but oftentimes it's okay, I guess. It's decently lenient towards you messing up. The only thing I really hate is when you have a chase sequence and you have to escape a certain boss monster or escape a certain situation. There, honestly, if you mess up even close to the end, you gotta start the whole thing all over again, and it's a pain in the ass. But other than that, definitely an improvement over the old game. Like, hands down, no comments. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the game in a nutshell. This is Ori and the Will of the Wisp. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this is not your typical review, but I do recommend you pick this game up and try it for yourself, because this is just amazing, and I'm definitely gonna be playing it again. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching. Take care, peace.